Hello, everybody, and welcome to our very first live stream. And I'm going to be talking on the power of suspended chords. People talk about major chords and minor chords, and for context, this is a major chord, this is a minor chord. People talk about major sevens, minor sevens, dominant sevens, have diminished seven chords, even minor major seven and diminished major seven chords. So people talk about these chord types, but there's no much information out there on suspended chords. People tend to avoid suspended chords, and you don't have so much about suspended chords out there. But today I want to share with you on the power of suspended chords. So if you stay until the end of this live stream, you'll be able to understand, you'll be able to grasp what the suspended chords are. Okay, just a second. I just want to make sure that everything is okay. All right. So let's get to it. What is a suspended chord? A suspended chord is a chord that's not major and that's not minor. Suspended chord is not a major chord, it's not a minor chord. Here's a major chord. C major chord has the E. C minor chord has the E flat. So the third of the chord is what determines if the chord is major or minor. So in the case of the C major chord, be it major or minor, is defined by the type of E in the chord. If you have E natural, it's a C major chord. If you have E flat, that is C minor. Now, with C major or minor in mind, what do you think of a chord? A C chord without an E is a suspended chord. A C chord without an E, there's also a suspended chord. So you have the sus2 and you have the sus4. And if we go deeper, I'll explain why there isn't a sus2 chord. Because at the end of the day, this sus2 chord, if you move the G from the top to the bottom, that gives you the G sus4. But let's not get into all of that today, okay? That's going to be for a future live stream. So you have the C, the D, and the G. Oh my goodness. I need to make sure that everything is okay and that everybody can hear me. Um, yes, everybody can hear me. You know, just want to confirm that, okay? So, um, a C chord with the D instead of some type of third, which can be E or E flat. A C chord with the second tone is the suspended 2 chord, suspended second. And you have a suspended fourth chord, which is also called the sus4 chord. So you have a sus2 chord and you have a sus4 chord. So every praise is to our God. That's right. Can you see that? Major sus2, sus4, and back to the major chord. So, but let's talk about these suspended chords because I want to show you the power of suspended chords. Let's get started. So, this is your C major scale. I want to show you why suspended chords are powerful. The avoid tone of the C major scale is the F. The F is the avoid tone of a C major scale in European classical music and generally for music in the West. So, understandably, in the key of C major, the fourth tone is your F, and that's the avoid tone in C major. So, you can do this. Second tone, third tone, fifth tone, even the sixth tone goes, and the seventh tone. But hey, the fourth tone, woo, it's going to clash. So the fourth tone is the avoid tone. And even in gospel music, where the fourth tone is harmonized, okay, There are strategies, harmonic strategies to get this done. Okay, so the fourth tone is the avoid tone. So if you get rid of the fourth tone, you have a new scale that's called the hexatonic scale. The hexatonic simply refers to the aggregate of notes within the scale. So this scale with 6 tones, we've lost a tone. So from 7 tones, you have 6 tones now, which are as follows: the C, the D, the E, the G, the A, and the B. No more F. So 6 tones in one octave. What do you call that? An aggregate of 6 tones per octave, 6 hex tones, tonic. So this is the hexatonic scale. So if you're playing a song and you play, it's going to sound more effective than the regular diatonic scale, which is heptatonic, by the way. Heptatonic means 7 tones. Heptatonic. Okay, so hecatonic is beautiful. And here you have 3 tones. Look at this, 3 tones here and 3 tones here. So you can play this scale with a triplet feel. Very nice scale. If you want to apply it, here I am to worship, and here I am to bow down. Here I am to. You're my God. So, and you can do this with both hands, the C, D, E on your left hand and the G, A, B on your right hand. So triplet on the left hand for the C, D, E, and your right hand is doing the G, A, B. So triplet. And all I'm doing is I'm crossing my hands over like this. See how I'm crossing my hand? So that's the hexatonic scale with 6 tones. But this is just the beginning of taking tones off the major scale. So after the F is gone, the next tone will follow the secular fourths. Not necessarily secular fourths, but we're going fourths. So what is a fourth up from F? So let's count. If F is the 1, G is the 2, A is the 3. I know some people will say B flat, but hey, we're just going to stick to the type of B in the C major scale. Okay, so and that's the B natural. It's still a fourth. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So now that the F is gone, the next tone that we're losing is the B. From F to B is a fourth. Does that make sense? So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, that's the entire major scale. And then we get rid of the what? Get rid of the F. And then next we get rid of the B. And this is the scale that everybody is familiar with. It's called the pentatonic scale because now 2 tones are off the major scale. You're down to 5 tones. 5 tones. 5 is penta and tones tonic. So pentatonic. That makes sense, right? So we have the pentatonic scale where we have the F and the B excluded from the major scale. And this scale sounds better. And for context, these tones can be played together as a chord as well. And this gives us the 6-9 chord, as you can see on your screen. And it sounds a lot better when you can take the D off this octave and play it on the next one. You see that? It sounds good. And sounds a lot better if you can move the C down 1 octave. And even much better when the G joins the C to the left hand. You see, that's the pentatonic scale. And in the future, I'm going to show you how to expand the sound of this pentatonic scale playing multiple chords within the pentatonic scale. It sounds good, and there's so many ways that you can apply this. It's really vast. It's not something we can do in this lesson. So, but long story short, if you get if you get the fourth and the seventh tones of the major scale, you have the pentatonic, which is more powerful, which is more versatile, which is more useful than the major scale. You heard me right. So the next tone we're going to get rid of from the major scale is going to be a fourth as well from the B. So the F is gone, the B is gone. So what's a fourth from B? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your E. So the E is going. So the F is gone, the B is gone, and now the E. The E is going. So this leaves us with the tetratonic. And this can also be called the four-tone scale or the four-note scale. So here's your four-note scale. You have the... So look at this. So I'm basically playing those notes within the scale without the E, the F, and the B. And the right order is going to be the F, the B, and the E. I'm not playing those notes. So over the one chord, over the sixth chord. Very fantastic. Over the four chord. Over the two chord. So a scale becomes more versatile. The major scale becomes more versatile when you take notes off in this order. So you take the first notes off, you go hexatonic, which is more useful than the major scale. Absence of the avoid tone. So all the tones are going to work. In the future, I'm going to show you that this has two pentatonic scales, the C major pentatonic and the G major pentatonic, all in the same scale. In the future, I'm also going to show you how this has some other tetratonic scales or four-note scales. We'll cover all of this, but today we're going to the suspended. And how do we get there? After you've gotten rid of the F, the B, and the E, the next tone you're getting rid of is the A. So take the F off the scale, take the B off the scale, take the E off the scale, and next you take the A off the scale, and you're down to this chord, the suspended chord, which contains the tones in the cycle of fourths. So from a cyclical and musical standpoint and perspective, this scale is really dope. It can also be played as a chord as well. So you play this. The same notes will walk over all the bass notes. Jesus is the answer for the world today. So with this, beginners can have a tool that can help them express. So if you're playing a chord, you express with the sus2. It's not major, it's not minor, it's neutral. And that explains its flexibility and ability to be adapted to major or minor chords. So look at this. As I lay me down. Watch how the bass notes are going down. Heaven, hear me now. That's right. Just go down the scale. No by this fought against me. Now I know we can play more specific chords like God will do what He said He will do. He will stand. Okay, so, but with this, a beginner can play songs. Okay? You are here. Play the four on the bass, then go to the one. I worship you. And that's the five. I worship you. And that, gentlemen and ladies, is how you can tap into the power of suspended chords, which are three out of the seven tones in the major scale. When you've taken the avoid tone up, and you go up a fourth to take up the next one, and you go up a fourth to take up the next one, and you go up a fourth to take up the next one, you're left with three tones: the C, the D, and the G. Jesus to the sixth. Something special, supernatural about your name, Jesus. What am I doing here? I'm doing the C sus4 because I'm not using the third tone of C or some type of third, which can be E or E flat. I'm using the fourth tone, which is F. So Jesus. So that's all I have for you today on this live stream, and I'll definitely catch you on the next one. All the best, and if you have a question, leave it in the comment section. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.